Picture this. You're in the city that never sleeps, but tonight, you're wide awake. Not because of the city's famous noise, but because of the four walls closing in around you. It's 3 a.m. in New York City, and you can't sleep. The city lights flicker outside, but inside, your world is barely 6 feet wide. Not because of the sirens or the honking taxis, but because if you stretch out your legs, you'll kick your microwave. There's no room for tossing and turning here. Your microwave is your nightstand, which is also your bookshelf, and sometimes your dinner table. Every object in your room has to do double or even triple duty. You can touch all four walls of your apartment without getting up. In fact, you could probably do it with your eyes closed. This isn't hypothetical, it's reality for someone tonight. For thousands, this is the only way to afford a slice of the New York dream. A space so small, it feels like a human-sized Amazon box you pay rent for. Every inch is accounted for, every corner crammed with the essentials of life. This is the dark side of the New York dream. The city's glittering skyline hides a reality that's far less glamorous. We see the glamour, the penthouses, the rooftop parties, but not the person paying a fortune for a room the size of a closet, sacrificing comfort for a coveted zip code. A room where the shower is in the kitchen, next to the stove. You can boil water for coffee while you wash your hair. It sounds like a joke, but it's a real estate listing. These spaces are advertised as cozy or efficient, but really, they're just tiny. Someone will sign the lease, calling this place home. Maybe it's their first apartment, or maybe it's all they can afford after years in the city. Imagine folding your bed away to open your fridge. Your morning routine is a game of Tetris, shifting furniture just to make space for breakfast, or choosing between a desk or standing space. There's no room for both, so you compromise, again and again. These are daily battles against your environment. Every day, you navigate a maze of your own belongings, trying not to trip over your own shoes. You're living on the margins, paying a premium for a space that's a human rights violation elsewhere. Yet here, it's just called studio living. The price? More than a mortgage on a house in Ohio. For what you pay here, you could own a backyard, a garage, maybe even a guest room. Thousands pay for these glorified closets, a system that feels broken. The city's housing crisis is hidden behind closed doors, stacked one on top of another. They arrive with dreams, only to find themselves staring at a stained ceiling, wondering if the dream is worth living in a box. In the city of ambition, sometimes the price of admission is a 6-foot coffin you call home. Let's get real about tiny apartments. We're talking micro apartments, often less than 100 square feet. People live in spaces smaller than a parking spot. This isn't a quirky trend, it's a crisis of space and dignity. Apartments are illegal conversions, maximizing landlord profit. You get a sliver of a room, a shared bathroom, and a grimy kitchen. Ads call them cozy or efficient, but they're nightmares wrapped in real estate bows. This isn't just a New York problem, but it's magnified here. Landlords charge exorbitant prices for unlivable spaces. It forces people to choose between financial ruin and sanity. Meet Elena, a 24-year-old graphic designer in Brooklyn. She found a $1,600 room in Bushwick, a converted closet. Her landlord put a door on a closet and called it a bedroom. Elena took it. Her internship started in 3 days. Her routine became a ballet of claustrophobia. She'd wake up on a mattress on the floor, no room for a bed frame. She ate meals sitting on the floor, feeling like she lived in a storage unit. The lack of natural light made her tired and depressed. Thin walls meant no escape from her roommate's noise. She'd work at a glamorous agency, then return to her dark box. One night, she broke down, feeling trapped and alone. It's the crushing weight of the city, giving everything and getting nothing. Her story is the story of thousands of young dreamers. Why endure this? It boils down to opportunity. New York is the epicenter for finance, fashion, art, media. Proximity to power and influence is the drug. It's a calculated sacrifice, short-term pain for long-term gain. Living in a miserable box becomes a badge of honor. For many, these tiny apartments are the only choice. The formal housing market is a fortress they can't penetrate. Beyond career opportunities, New York's energy is addictive. The city's vibrancy is worth the trade-off for some. Living in these conditions is a daily battle. A constant tug of war between disgust and hope, between what you see and what you dream. Every morning you wake up to the same cramped walls, the same clutter, the same sense of being boxed in by the city's relentless pace. Disgust is visceral, cockroaches scuttling across the counter, mildew creeping up the bathroom wall, the occasional rat darting through the shadows. These are not just inconveniences, they are reminders of how hard it is to carve out a life here. These aren't minor annoyances. They're degrading experiences that chip away at your spirit, making you question your choices. You learn to live with grime, becoming an expert at killing bugs, scrubbing surfaces, and patching up what you can. You adapt because you have to. But there's the dream, the reason you endure, the hope that keeps you anchored when everything else feels unstable. For an actor, it's a Broadway callback, the chance to step onto a stage and be seen, to have your talent recognized. For a chef, it's training under a master, learning the secrets of the city's best kitchens, dreaming of your own restaurant someday. The dream numbs the pain, focusing your mind on a brighter future. It's the vision that lets you see past the grime and the noise. Small moments of hope fuel you. A kind word from a friend, a successful audition, a compliment from a mentor. These moments are lifelines. A freelance check means you can eat more than instant noodles, maybe even treat yourself to a real meal, a small luxury that feels huge, or a beautiful sunset viewed from a rooftop, reminding you that there's beauty in the struggle and that the city can still surprise you. These moments are proof your sacrifice isn't in vain. They're reminders that you're still moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. They whisper encouragement, telling you to hold on, to keep believing, to trust that your hard work will pay off. The dream is still within reach, even in the darkest rooms, even when hope feels like a distant memory. It's the light at the end of a long, narrow tunnel, a promise that if you keep going, you'll find your way out. These moments are the fuel that keeps you going, the quiet victories that remind you why you started this journey in the first place. They are whispers of encouragement, telling you to hold on, to keep fighting, to never let go of your dream. Because the dream is still within reach, and as long as you keep believing, anything is possible in this city of endless chances. Let's talk about Marco, who came from Ecuador 7 years ago. He sends money back to his family weekly. He lives in a basement in Jackson Heights with 3 others. His space is a top bunk, paying $500 a month. He works 12-hour shifts as a dishwasher in Manhattan. His dream? To open a food cart selling his grandmother's empanadas. The struggle is immense. Saving is slow and painful. Unexpected expenses can wipe out his savings. He feels like he's on a treadmill, running to stay in place. Yet he keeps going for his daughter in Ecuador. Her picture in a new dress is his joy and hope. His dream isn't just for him, it's for her. He sacrifices his present for her future. Stories like Marco's show the heart of the city. Stay with me for the final takeaway. The price of tiny apartments isn't just in dollars. The hidden costs are damaging, especially to mental health. Cramped, dark spaces breed anxiety and depression. Your home becomes a source of stress, eroding well-being. Poor ventilation leads to respiratory issues. Lack of a kitchen affects nutrition. Social life suffers. You're ashamed to invite anyone over. Isolation is painful in a city about connection. The cost to your future is high. Survival mode kills dreams. The apartment meant to be a stepping stone becomes a trap. You're treading water, forgetting to swim towards a destination. The human spirit is resilient, finding joy in oppression. People create beauty, making spaces their own. A string of fairy lights, a single plant, declarations of selfhood. Community blossoms in unexpected ways. Roommates bond over shared absurdity, creating inside jokes. They become a makeshift family, a vital support system. People find joy outside the apartment. The city becomes their living room. Parks, libraries, coffee shops become extensions of home. Lack of private space pushes you into the public sphere. You engage with the city intimately, participating daily. Moments of New York magic affirm your love for the city. An impromptu concert, a street fair, a perfect skyline view. These moments are the city winking at you. They remind you why you fell in love with it. They keep hope alive, even in the smallest rooms. We've seen the closets people call home. Spaces so small, it's hard to imagine how anyone could live there, let alone thrive. These aren't just rooms, they're entire lives squeezed into a few square feet. We've heard Elena and Marco's stories, but they're just two voices among thousands. Every hallway, every building holds stories of struggle, hope, and resilience. This isn't a movie, it's the real experience of our neighbors, friends, and co-workers. The city's heartbeat is made up of real people facing real challenges every single day. They are the engine of this city, working tirelessly, yet being crushed by the very place they help keep alive. Their dreams fuel New York, but the city often gives little in return. The New York dream shouldn't cost basic human dignity. No one should have to sacrifice their well-being just to have a roof over their head. A safe, clean home is a fundamental right, not a luxury reserved for the few. Everyone deserves a space where they can feel secure and at peace. The system prioritizes profit over people, creating a city of stark contrasts, luxury towers rising above cramped, aging apartments. We shouldn't romanticize the struggle. Resilience is a necessity, not a choice. People adapt because they have to, not because they want to. This story leaves the screen and enters your life. It's happening all around us, whether we notice it or not. Look closer at the people behind the scenes, the ones who keep the city running, often without recognition or fair reward. Understand the glamour is built on unimaginable conditions. The bright lights hide the shadows where so many struggle. This isn't about pity, it's about empathy and solidarity. We need to see each other, support each other, and demand better together. Can we do better? The answer has to be yes. Change is possible, but only if we work for it. Demand more for our neighbors and the city's soul. Stand up, speak out, and push for policies that put people first. These stories are raw, real, and need to be heard. They are the truth behind the postcard image of New York. If this story moved you, join our community. Get involved, share these stories, and help amplify the voices that too often go unheard. Your support keeps a spotlight on these issues, making sure they aren't ignored or forgotten. Because these stories and people matter. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you for watching.